From a young age, we all dream of more. From meeting our animated heroes to visiting worlds full of Why can't... Have you ever dreamt of a place where... Okay, what is happening? Oh, hey there. I've been sent here on behalf of the company. How did you get in here? And what company? Who sent you? Oh, you know which one. You know which company. The one full of and what? Just, you just made a noise instead of words. Yeah. So, yeah, we're gonna have to amend what you're saying here because, he, the guy with the ears, he doesn't like this. He doesn't get angry. No, he doesn't get angry. No, but we're gonna have to just temper what you're saying just a little bit. So I can't even say or mass. Definitely not. No, especially that last one. What about I don't know. What about Ooh, that one's dicey. That's dicey. I mean, that is just a general type of building, but also no, that's on the list. That's on the list. Okay. Right. What if I just talk about the rides? Rides, perfectly fine. You can absolutely talk about the rides. Just don't use any of their names. Do not use the term with that is I mean, those are a lot of words you would use talking about this. Yeah, but you don't want to get a cease and desist. Well, no. I mean, I would like to avoid getting a cease and desist. I can't even say that. Nope. Only we're allowed to say that just to warn you. I have to say, I'm looking at the counter. If you do too many more of these, even now, look, this isn't a threat, but where do you think all of the people come from on the ride? You know the ride, the boat, the creepy boat. Why do you think the ride goes on so long? There's a lot of people. How about it? I'll just give you this script. Just try this. Just give this one a go. See how it feels. Right. Not exactly riveting, but I'll give it a go. Have you ever thought of a place where things happen and it's nice? There you go. See? Oh, good. The caller stopped beeping. We're safe. We're good. I really do not know what's happening, but it really takes the making. No. Don't say that one.
My name is Dan.
And my name is also Dan.
And welcome back to the Dan the Games Man podcast, your fortnightly gaming podcast. And Dan is back off his holiday from Disney, but more about that later on because... somewhat more importantly, Dan, what have you been playing this past fortnight?
Other than silly buggers, I have been falling way back into my Vampire Survivors mode. Full core, full tilt. It's bad.
The more things change.
Yeah.
Because were you playing it portably?
I was, yeah. I think that was my my slip back into decline. I took my iPad to Disney.
Yes.
And was playing afresh on there. It's like...
Dan did send me a picture. I was like, that is dedication to the cause. Was it... So you were playing with the Xbox controller on an iPad?
I was. I think somewhere there were weird little internet demons going, what's happening? I didn't like the things mixing. But yeah, it was good. As though that or watch random French TV I didn't understand. So.
Yeah. I suppose you could have watched Disney Plus. But...
strangely, well, yeah. Would have made more sense.
So, did you not manage to get much gaming in because of your trip
Not
away?
a huge amount, no.
I have delved into a couple of things I've been meaning to try and test them out. I've finally given FBC Firebreak a go.
Yeah, what do you think?
I'm not entirely certain yet. It's fun, but for my first foray into it, I didn't want a load of randos that have been playing it since day one. I say a load, the other 10 people.
Yeah, I was going to say 9.
Probably. Yeah, true. And it was difficult playing solo. It's like, do you want
did you actually try and play fully solo, did you?
Yeah, it was terrible idea.
Let
Don't
me
do
solo her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine that did not go as well as you presumed it might.
No, it was diabolical. Because I had a wrench and a sawed-off shotgun. It's like, hordes. Perfect.
I think it's one of those games, I think I've only played with randoms, and I think one of them was useless, and it was my first few games, but I picked it up pretty quick. It's quite easy to pick up, but I can imagine playing solo is very difficult because you would never make any progress.
Yeah, it's like, I'll do this objective. Another horde has spawned from that cupboard. Perfect.
And then you just keep going back to the objective from the start, and that must get really old really quick.
Yeah, it's like, go back and shower because you're really warm. Like,
Oh yeah, the kind of shower mechanics in that game are quite weird.
Yeah.
Or like, you're covered in something, have a shower. You're
shoot.
on fire, have a shower.
Sprinkler. Poof. Like, aha.
Yeah. I think it's one of those games I think that had a lot of promise. I just don't think enough people jumped into it to begin with.
Agreed, yeah. I think it could have gotten some traction and been quite a fun sort of live service thing, but people...
Well, I think they are going to do... I think they're doing a second launch. I don't think they've done it yet, have they? Unless they've done another pretty unsuccessful second launch. We've all missed it.
Yeah, now there are 12 people. But yeah, I don't think they've done it yet, no.
No, I expect they're probably going to do it and probably put more cosmetics in, bits like that.
Yeah, more than likely. But other than that, I haven't really had a huge amount of time to play other than the other thing that we'll mention.
Yes, we're going to get on to the other thing in a moment because me and Dan both have a new addiction. But yeah, so for myself, I've been carrying on with Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty.
Nice.
I'm now getting to the point where my Mantis Blades are insane. So basically I've been trying to do the melee build with the 2 Mantis Blades and like essentially like phase shift, so I can basically jump to the finishers now, which are really good.
Excellent.
Basically you stab somebody with the Mantis Blade and either decap them or just go stab, classic kind of Wolverine jobbies. Basically getting through that, I've got to like the halfway point, which I don't want to spoil it because I think we normally, if we're going to say spoilers, it would normally be for games that are a little bit older.
Yeah.
I think with that being current gen, I won't spoil it at the moment. I got to the halfway point, it's very obvious when you hit it. It's very obvious. It kind of veers off in 2 directions. Cool. But yeah, kind of hammering through that. So I think in the last episode we spoke about me and my wife had just started playing Split Fiction. Very, very good. Very different to It Takes Two.
Yeah.
I'd say It Takes Two is probably more friendly to everyone in general, but definitely more friendly to people who are slightly more casual.
Okay.
It kind of gently ramps the difficulty up over the course of the game. Whereas, bless you, Split Fiction just basically starts quite hard.
Yeah.
It's definitely more, and where It Takes Two is a lot more platforming, Split Fiction's a lot more... It's something I think some people struggle with who aren't quite as hardcore gaming, is kind of doing the camera and stuff at the same time.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more kind of third-person shooting in Split Fiction, which is, I think it's an acquired skill.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's something kind of take for granted a little bit. So when you slap someone into that isn't like a gaming native and they're having to do
because like first person, you're like, point at what you want to kill. It's like, okay, that's fair enough. Third person is like, well, point at what you want to kill and move the character in that direction and the camera. And they're like, what? How do I do that with all these? It's definitely harder. I think I'd say it feels like it's got higher production values.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely still got that ADHD thing of, we're going to do this, no this, no this, no this, and then changing up the mechanics and like the locations. Basically, you're flipping between fantasy and sci-fi kind of continuously. It's very good, but it's definitely got a much harder kind of, it's definitely got a harder difficulty curve. I think it starts harder and definitely feels like it's kind of slowly ramping up.
Okay.
But I am really enjoying the kind of the literal side stories in it. Because essentially the entire idea of the game, basically, they are siphoning people's stories out of their heads. This is not spoilers, this is the first 5 minutes of the game. Basically, they put into these weird pods that use AI, presumably, to remove stories from people's heads, and like they're getting the main stories, but they have literal side stories. Like there's one very early on where you both play as two little pigs.
I've seen this one, I
I
think.
think, yeah, if you haven't seen it, it was all over TikTok when the game first released. Basically, you're two pigs. One can go long like a slinky, and the other one can fart and fly, which caused much hilarity. You're in a farm, it's all lovely. And essentially, you get turned into sausages, and you're playing as a hot dog. And the side stories are like that. They're all a bit mad. They're totally optional, but they're some of the best bits. Like we've had like a futuristic game show where you had to like pass a bomb to each other and get to the end of a track before time, which was nails. That was really tough. And then like a really good like a side-scrolling one, which was like a side-scrolling shooter.
Oh, fun.
Then we had like a Spider-Man jetpack one, which was really cool. Not actual Spider-Man, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's been a really fun game, but it's definitely like it feels harder.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's quite gripped me as much as It Takes Two.
Okay. It's maybe the narrative not quite as engaging.
Yeah, I think it's more the difficulty takes away a bit of the fun of playing it co-op.
Okay.
It can get a bit frustrating in places.
Yeah.
But it's still a very, very good game. I think we just came off a bit which was really quite difficult, like a really hard section.
Yeah.
I think like there was a couple of sections in It Takes Two which I didn't enjoy as much, but I think this one was just a bit of a section which was just a bit longer and a bit sloggier.
Yeah.
So hopefully it'll kind of sort itself out. But yeah, I actually played quite a lot this week, and also I've started replaying Earth Defense Force 4.1, I think it is.
Dang.
Because I had just kind of going between two super serious games. I wanted to play something where it's just like, here is bugs, shoot them. As we are big fans of space racism here on the podcast. Any kind of alien bugs, we are here to kill them. It's one of my first kind of guilty pleasures, I'd say, Earth Defense Force, because it's one of those, it's so bad, it's good.
Yeah. I think that's probably more Starship Troopers than the Starship Troopers game is.
Yeah, I just think it's hilarious. Like, also, for more context, when there's a load of troopers running through the city chanting EDF, which hasn't aged well in the UK, especially.
Yes.
Yeah, so, basically a load of people running through the streets chanting EDF, shooting illegal aliens, hasn't aged well.
No.
But yeah, quite a fun game. But then we both discovered our latest fix of space racism and killing as many bugs as possible with this game just totally flew under my radar. I was just going through Games Pass and I was like, Deep Rock Galactic Survivors.
Yeah, that one, I don't think I even knew they were developing a Survivors of it.
No, so did you ever play Deep Rock Galactic?
I did for about half an hour and I'm
Same.
meh.
I was like, underground Minecraft.
Yeah, this is fun, I guess, maybe. And yeah, never went back to it again. It was fine, but it didn't draw me in. So
I think it's, again, one of those games, if you have loads of friends that play it, probably great fun.
Yeah.
Which is the advantage of Deep Rock Galactic Survivors. You don't need friends.
Nope, you got your floating robot buddy and that's all you need.
You don't need anything. You don't need food, to leave the house, to leave the games room. Just play that. Do nothing else. That is literally what...
All the sustenance.
Any time I've been diving, because we like any game where we can dive.
This is very true.
Also, there's a line in the game which does say to the skies.
Excellent.
Very slight spoiler. But yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a roguelike, which is something that always grips us.
100%.
Because I thought I was going to get my addiction fix from like going from Vampire Survivors to Kill the Brick Man. But that didn't click with me.
Fair.
Which generally surprised me. But this game is absolutely clicked. So essentially, you are a dwarf and you live in a hole, and basically you dive through like a mining thing onto a level. You have to mine the level, kill the enemies until you kill enough enemies to kill the boss of that level. You go down 5 levels of each kind of mine, then you fight the big bad at the end.
Yeah, big unpleasant nasty thing appears out of nowhere and it's pretty difficult.
But essentially, while you're down there, you try and mine as much as possible for like minerals to both upgrade between every level, while you're upgrading your character as you go by killing enemies. But some of the materials you're mining, then you can use on permanent buffs.
Yeah, which it becomes a little bit of a balancing act of trying to get the things that help in the run, or do you get the things that are a more long-term upgrade?
And I think like in the long term, there'll probably be runs where it's like, right, I am literally going in to try and mine long-term upgrades rather than kind of finish the mission as such.
Yeah.
Like on each mission you have set objectives, don't you? Like collect so many mushrooms or mine so much or...
Yeah, bring down so many stalactites.
Yeah,
which
but
is
then
quite fun.
like you're also trying to basically get the buffs for the long term.
Yeah. I have developed quite a fondness for waiting for the like the gear drop to come and be like, right, come over here, big enemy. Come on.
I think that was something like the game was like, it had on one of the tips in the menu saying you can drop the supply drop on the enemies. It's like, I worked that out the very first time. I was like, right, well, obviously, it's essentially you'll get one supply drop per level.
Yeah.
And essentially you'll have to clear an area and it will drop from the sky and it will kill everyone who's underneath it. And then you get like an artifact normally, so like maybe something like makes your weapons better or gives you regen or just gives you a load of money.
Yeah, which is pretty fun.
And it's different classes. It's crazy once again. It's like a £10 game.
Yeah, it's mental.
And I'm like, absolutely, like it has some microtransactions, like 2 that are like £4 each in a minute, and I'm genuinely quite tempted to buy them. They are literally just skins, but the unlocks in the game are pretty mad, aren't they? Like,
my favourite I found so far was one of the bits of gear that was a rip-off can of WD-40, but it was called DW-40K. I'm like,
incredible.
What are you referencing there?
Yeah, so obviously you find relics, which you get from killing the bosses you can take forever.
Yep.
And then you continuously upgrade your weapons every time you level up. So you might get, like, say, a faster reload or a higher chance of criticals. Or you get some of the weird ones. Like every 5 levels, the weapon changes totally.
Yep.
Like you might start off with a machine gun, but then at level 5, it might become a fire machine gun.
Which is pretty baller.
And then the more you play as the various classes, the more weapons you unlock. Like, I've unlocked all the classes now. So you start out with a scout, who I think is just slightly faster.
Yeah, I think a little bit of extra max HP and a little bit faster.
And basically just has a machine gun. It's basically a basic starter character. And then once you've done enough levels as the scout, you then unlock the gunner, who's basically a juggernaut with a big minigun thing, isn't he?
That's quite fun.
That's quite a cool one. Then you unlock the engineer, who can drop turrets, but the caveat with turrets, you have to stop running for literally a millisecond so they can drop the turrets.
Which, when you've been chased by swarms...
Because this game has probably got some of the biggest swarms I've seen in a game.
Like, you'll think, I'm kiting these around quite well to, like, dig through a rock. Oh, there's more.
And that's the thing, like, because of the environment, you can kind of dig through. So you dig in for minerals, but then you can also make, like, incredible choke points to get all the bugs to go into one point. Especially if you're using something like the engineer, you just have your turrets just facing that one choke point.
Yep.
And then, slight spoilers for yourself, the final class you unlock is the driller. And instead of a gun, he has 2 drills on his hands.
Nice.
So you can basically, it's the fastest one for actual mining, so I think it could be a really good one for farming. But he has a gun on his back, so he only shoots backwards.
Ooh.
Which is quite an interesting one, because then you can basically, once again, make those choke points and just have them follow you, like, through little mines all the way through as you shoot them in the back.
That's brilliant.
And then also, I think his upgrades are a flamethrower which goes round him, or a sludge gun which also goes round him.
Excellent. Want.
But yeah, that is, as you can tell, we're quite passionate about that game at the moment, and that's definitely going to be one we're going to be playing a lot more.
Yeah, it's just the epitome of, I'll just do one more. And I think,
literally,
because it's not like, as well, say a 20-minute or a 30-minute run, it's broken up into those little bits.
Yeah, and you can, like, because it has quick resume as well, so you can, like, do 2 or 3 levels and come back. It's just one of those perfect games for, I think if you had it, like, on Steam Deck or something, I reckon it'd be absolutely perfect. I think if it was mobile, it'd be perfect. Basically, it's perfect.
It's pretty fun.
100% recommend. If you haven't checked it out, it's like a £10 game. If you're into roguelikes, it's good stuff.
I give it 8 out of 8 random things.
Yeah, I'm a very big fan, but we're not going to just talk about that today, even though we could quite easily.
I think so.
But we'll go into the news, or kind of lack thereof, and other than like 2 very large bits of news. So, as always with the podcast, we're kind of well timed this time, but also badly timed. So I think there's a PlayStation Direct this evening.
Yep.
But we did have a very surprise direct yesterday, which we'll get onto in a bit. But first the news, there's a lot of Nintendo news in a minute. Have you seen... There's not really any good Nintendo news.
When is that?
Yeah, probably.
It's always weird.
But I think the one that's really grinding my gears at the moment is how they've ruined the new Pokemon.
Oh, what have they done?
So with the new Pokemon, it is a £70, $70 game because that makes sense. It's releasing both on Switch and Switch 2, which seems to be most games at the moment, which is a good thing because then, you're not locked out of games because you can't afford the Switch 2.
True.
But the problem is they're kind of pricing people out of Pokemon a little bit because obviously when you play Pokemon, you want to catch them all.
Yes.
So to catch them all with a new Pokemon, you have to buy the game for £70.
Yeah.
And then certain Pokemon you can only catch by playing online, which means you have to have Nintendo Online, which is £40 a year.
Oh, for God's sake.
And then the big thing of the new Pokemon is the Mega Evolutions.
Mm-hmm.
And the free Mega Evolutions for the free starting Pokemons are going to be locked to a paid DLC.
Oh, come on now.
So essentially, to unlock them all, you have to pay, I think it's £70 for the game, £20 for the DLC, and then £40 for a year of Nintendo Online. Obviously, you get a lot more stuff with Nintendo Online, but we're talking about £130 to catch them all.
I mean, at that point, you may as well just buy them all and
forgo
all of the gameplay.
Because, obviously Nintendo and the Pokemon Company are short a few pounds. Probably from all the money they've spent patenting the Pokemon mechanic. Have you seen this?
Yes, what is it specifically? The summoning and making things fight?
Yes, so Nintendo has patented summoning a character and letting it fight another character.
I mean, that's going to hurt a lot of different franchises, really.
Now, I think the idea is that Pokemon can then use this on a case-by-case basis. So, like, if we made a Dan versus Dan summoning game, they probably wouldn't be too concerned. I think we all know why they've done it and who they're going after.
Who might that be? Dragon's Dogma?
And I just think it's quite funny. We'll get into why this is funny as well, because recently we had a Nintendo Direct where they announced a certain game. And let's just say recently Pal World have released a trailer for an upcoming Pal World farming game.
Yeah, which is interesting. So they're going to annoy the farmers?
Oh no! Wait till we talk about the Nintendo Direct in a bit. This is good stuff. But have you got any other news other than Directs and?
So the ongoing war and the ongoing attempt to mention it every episode, Cyberstan is apparently kicking off in Helldivers.
Oh, lovely.
So more horrible things with the bots, as well as... What was the last thing I saw?
We seem to be in a real loss at Helldivers at the minute, probably because we both haven't been playing as much.
Yeah, there's, I think, a new thing going on, as well as like the Gloom variants of bugs. There's another thing where I think maybe they just become explodey as well.
Because we lost that, didn't we?
Yes. I'm still surprised they used the Xbox divers as reinforcements and not another faction. I thought that would have been quite fun. But still, that's going on. But other than any actual news, I know, further to your point about the PlayStation Direct, we're kind of in the middle of the Tokyo Game Show at the minute, I think, aren't we?
Yes, so that'll be the next episode. So next episode we got 2 Directs, but actually this time we do have 2 Directs.
Nice.
One of which really came out of nowhere, but we'll talk about Nintendo Direct first because it was last week and it was Nintendo celebrating Mario Bros 40th anniversary.
Oh, damn.
Now, call me something. I can't. I feel a bit jaded with this because I was like, okay, they're going to pull something big out because it's the 40th anniversary of Mario. We have the Switch 2. We're going to get the new 3D Mario. They're going to bring something big. Now, don't get me wrong, there is some fairly big announcements in this, but I thought we'd get like Super Mario 3D World and it was going to be like the next big, or Super Mario Odyssey 2. Yeah. Something huge, something to like sell the Switch 2 to everyone. But instead, see, I sound a bit jaded and a bit like meh. Instead, we got the trailer for Super Mario Galaxy movie.
I think a meh response is correct to that.
Don't get me wrong, the Super Mario Bros. Movie was very, very good. You know, it had Charlie Day as Luigi.
Fair.
And also, you know, it was a really good film. It had a lot of fan service. I think it was universally loved by everyone. Have you seen it?
I haven't, actually. I found I'm getting a more strong and strong dislike for Chris Pratt by the days.
Well, it's just the Chris Pratt. I'm surprised it's not the Dan and Chris Pratt podcast at this point, because he is literally in everything. He's like basically between him and Pedro Pascal, they are everything.
That's very true.
But
I want to see a remake of Schindler's List with just them.
Yeah, the next podcast, the Pedro and Powers podcast. But yeah, it actually looks like nothing because there was barely anything shown of it. So it's just like a very much teaser, and then there's going to be many people in it. Everyone's returning to reprise their roles. So then off the back of that, they were like, okay, so we're now announcing Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 for the Switch and Switch 2.
All right.
Which is also kind of weird because Super Mario Galaxy, the first one, was already on the Mario 3D All-Stars collection, which came out a couple of years ago on the Switch, which was a limited release, which is now like 80, 90 quid if you didn't buy it at the time, which I did, thankfully. But it's just weird that they're re-releasing it again, but maybe that's why they made it limited in the first place. But then, I think it's like a 70 quid game for those two, which are like 20 years old. Don't get me wrong, two games are actually on my backlog, but we'll talk more about backlogs in a bit.
They're how many years old?
Trying to think about it. But yeah, they're also releasing them digitally for 40 quid each.
Come on now.
Which is like, come on, Nintendo. But yeah, so they're coming. I will probably buy them because, Nintendo. Then they announced the new Mario Tennis Fever.
Okay.
I actually quite enjoy the Mario sports games. I think if I'm going to play a sports game, it's probably going to be Mario based.
It can be a giggle.
So that one has... So the thing with that is the fever. Okay. It isn't like COVID or the flu or anything. It's 30 special rackets. So like you have a racket which sets fire to the pitch or like makes it icy so everyone falls over. No, it's not a pitch. Court. That's what I'm looking for. So 30 special rackets and 38 characters. Also, weirdly for a sports game, it has a story mode where all the characters are turned into the baby versions of themselves. You get like Baby Mario and Baby Waluigi, which I never really liked the Baby Mario and stuff like that. Thought it was a bit weird and creepy. And yes, they're turned into babies and must learn to play tennis through the story mode.
That's perfectly normal, I suppose.
Oh, this is where the direct goes far left field. The direct absolutely loses its plot at this point. So, this is the start of Nintendo's descent into madness, and this is not the maddest direct we've had this past fortnight. So, the commentator for Mario Tennis is a talking flower.
Okay.
This is Nintendo's new obsession of talking flowers. So then we had the DLC announced for Mario Wonder, which is called Meet Up in Bella Bell Park, which Mario Wonder is a side-scrolling Mario game, but these are all mini-games, some of them competitive, some cooperative, that look like Mario Party, which is weird because Mario Party Jamboree's just been released. But this entire trailer was then also commentated by Talking Flower, which seems to be like kind of the guiding voice of that game. And then Nintendo then announced they're bringing out a physical talking plant.
I've seen Little Shop of Horrors, and that's not a good plan.
And it's creepy. It's creepy. It's no Piranha plant. Piranha plant, good. This plant, fleshlight. Looks incredibly odd. Oh, don't worry, this direct... I'm going to save the weirdest thing of this direct till last.
I just need to clarify, because we might need to sort it on the YouTube anyway. Did you say fleshlight or fleshlight?
Fleshlight, but I think we'll be fine on that one. I don't think anyone will find it. The plant looks creepy. Don't like it.
It is wrapped in skin.
So then, the final part of to celebrate 40 years of Mario is a new Yoshi game, and it looks very simplistic. I think Yoshi finds a storybook. That's about it.
Proceeds to lick everything. Lawsuits happen.
Yeah, I think it's just basically the dumbification of Yoshi games just gets...
Himbo Yoshi mode.
Basically, it's like... I don't know. I don't know with that one. Just look at the trailer. And then they had a proper trailer for Hades 2.
Hey.
Which looks really good. It looks like Hades 2.
Fair.
There's not really...
up, which is good.
No. Different main character. Only weird thing, digital version comes out September 25th.
Okay.
Physical version November 20th.
Okay. Why undo that?
Don't understand that one. That kind of annoyed me. Unless it's on Games Pass, I'll just wait and pick up the physical copy.
That's fair.
Then we had a trailer for Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment, which is basically the Dynasty Warriors version of Zelda. I think you're playing as... It's a prequel to the newest Zelda, which I forget the name of because I haven't played it yet.
Has there been one since Tears of the
Yeah,
Kingdom?
the sequel to Tears of the Kingdom. This is a prequel to that.
Oh, good God.
Basically, they're pretty good games. I just don't... I think they're one of the ones... I think they're one of the very much lesser Nintendo franchise and way less people care about.
Can you play as Tingle? Because imagine cutting through swaths of enemies as Tingle. That'd be kind of weird.
I think it's got quite a strange cast of characters, but it does look quite cool. But yeah, it's I was like Dynasty Warriors games. Haven't played one for years, but you know they're all much for much. And then we had kind of big trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond,
Glorious. So
where
a bajillion years.
Samus now has a motorbike.
Okay.
Yep. It looks like it's kind of partial open world with dungeons.
All right.
I think it could be quite cool.
I'm down with that.
Once again, we're kind of starting to see how many Nintendo games we haven't played. So I haven't played a single Metroid Prime game.
I've played one of the side-scrolly boys, don't remember which one, and I remember playing one on GameCube because the aiming mechanics with that controller really got on my nerves. But I don't remember what one was on GameCube.
Prime 1 and 2 on GameCube.
Okay, it would have been one of them.
I think I have the Prime trilogy, so maybe one day. But yeah, that looks quite interesting. That does look cool. That looks probably the most... That and Donkey Kong are probably the most interesting things I've seen on Switch 2 so far.
Do we know, because I know nothing about the canon, is Samus like an android or is she a person?
She's a person.
What happens when Ball? Where her organs go?
Just suit, I think. I think that's how we explain things. Just suit. And then, so coming on to what I was going on about earlier. So remember, Power World has released Power World Farm. Next up, we have Pokemon Pokopia. It's basically Pokemon Animal Crossing, where you make a farm. It's literally like, I don't know how close these got announced towards each other.
I hope Power World was first and they sue.
But I feel like Power World is either poking the beast or just seeing how much they can annoy them. But it actually looks really fun.
To be fair, that does sound pretty entertaining.
It looks really good. So essentially you play as Ditto. Incredible move. Where basically you play as Ditto and you go around. So in the trailer it shows they find a Bulbasaur. And the Bulbasaur is like, I like grass. And Ditto's like, So Ditto basically steals seed bombs so it can make more grass to make Bulbasaur happier.
Aww.
And then, obviously, because the grass needs water, you find Squirtle so you can water the grass.
Nice.
Then Charmander turns up and burns it all to the ground. But Charmander does turn up. It looks very much aimed at our generations. It's all the original 151. And I think you can, like, harvest the crops using Cypher.
Oh, that's cool.
It looks very, very good. Like, I never got into Animal Crossing. I think in lockdown, everyone had that divergence. Was either like you played Animal Crossing consistently or Doom Eternal. So remember, they came out the same day during lockdown.
And they're basically the same.
Basically the same game, yeah. But yeah, that looks really, really fun.
That does sound quite entertaining.
It sounds like an absolute time sink, but
I hope I can eat an oddish.
yeah, you presume. Maybe the Diglett's probably like Dig, presumably.
Yeah, that's fun.
But yeah, you can like kind of see how it could go and how it could be really great fun. And then like the last thing they talked about on the podcast on the direct is not the last thing I'm going to talk about because I saved my favourite thing till last because it's the weirdest thing Nintendo have done in years and I absolutely love it. The final game and now, well, not now, well, they've announced every Resident Evil game is coming to Switch 2.
Oh, cool.
And then they had a new trailer for Resident Evil 9 Requiem.
Oh.
At the end of the Nintendo Direct, right to the end, and I think they had some other games, but
That's quite surprising.
they had some JRPGs afterwards. There's obviously loads of other games we didn't talk about as well, but yeah, so they had a more kind of 2.5 minute trailer for Resident Evil 9 Requiem. It looks very horror-y.
Nice.
There's also a Nintendo advert going around a minute for Resident Evil being portable, which is one of the best adverts I've seen for a while, which is basically two people, real world footage, like two people going to a creepy mansion, and they're like, oh, this is perfect. And they're like sitting in the mansion playing Resident Evil. It's a really good advert.
Love it.
And yeah, there was basically a longer trailer for Resident Evil 9. It looks very good. It looks very much, definitely looks more 7 than anything else.
Cool. All right, that's good then. 7 gave me the
Heebie-jeebies.
yes.
We'll try not to swear this episode. And yeah, it looks really, really good. I am a bit concerned it's going to be 100% horror. But I do also feel like, as does much of the world, there's going to be a Secrets Leon story.
Yeah. Have you seen the apparently leaked design document that had a very grizzled looking Leon? He had whiter hair and I think an eye patch because classic.
Yep.
No one can hold on to their both of their eyes between games usually in these things.
Yeah.
But I mean, we expected he'd turn up.
Yeah, as I've talked about third and first person, being like Requiem, and I think it's going to finish off a lot of stories, being back in Raccoon City. But yeah, all of that pales in comparison to the most WTF announcement Nintendo have done for a very, very long while. So Nintendo are resurrecting a console.
I think I know which one it might be.
Can you guess which one it is?
Is it a weird cardboard Virtual Boy you can get?
It is, but also a full-size Virtual Boy you can put your Switch screen in.
Oh man, the ice train.
Yes, for 100, I think it's £100, you too can buy your own Virtual Boy that you can play 14 games to be released over time. If you're watching the video version, here are the 14 games, bask in their glory. So now everyone who owns a Switch and Nintendo Online, they are part of the online game package, which does have a lot of games, but 40 quid a year, you can then buy your own Virtual Boy and play these games.
Do they sort of do a dual screen thing so you get a stereoscopic 3D gubbins?
I presume so.
That's kind of cool. A little bit weird, but cool, I guess.
Yeah, I think the idea is it just shows slightly different things in either eye. I don't know how it'll work with a Switch, but it looks incredible. And any way that more people can play the Virtual Boy, or maybe even, to be honest, those games are more playable without giving people terrible migraines.
Yeah, it's would you like the entire game to be red and angry?
There's some quite good, the Mario Tennis is good on there. Wario's Woods, I think it is on there, is very good. There's some other games as well that exist. There's definitely some pretty terrible games on there, but to be honest, for as a video game historian as such, to be able for some people to be able to play the games at all is very, very good, because to play them all is very pricey, very expensive, very difficult. Yeah,
getting hold of them. I mean, like you said, your one came about through just sheer providence of things turning up at the right time.
Yeah, and it's without kind of that luck, I don't think it would have happened. But yeah, that's very exciting.
Quickly shoehorn in another horror thing, sort of on the coattails of Resident Evil.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to assume it's OD because it's all capitals, the new thing by Kojima Productions.
What a brilliant segue. So that was the other weirder... This only was last night. We're recording this on a Wednesday. It drops on a Friday. So last night, Kojima had his anniversary of leaving Konami showcase, which is a real big move. To go, when should I do my own kind of showcase? I know, the anniversary of me leaving the company I worked for.
Remember when you lost me?
Which is basically the definition of a messy breakup. It was take this. And then I feel like there was some real jabs.
I think so, yeah.
So just to give you an idea, because it's a bit of a side kind of jab, but Kojima takes a long while to do anything.
Yeah.
This is a 2.5 hour showcase last night. There's some very good stuff which was announced. I'll kind of do it in reverse order. So they're doing a Death Stranding spin-off movie.
Did see that. Looks interesting.
Anime. That looks quite cool. The Death Stranding movie, there's no update on that.
I wonder who they'll play the main character.
Yeah. Start to do the weird Kojima stuff. So he's working with the creators of Pokemon Go on an AR project.
Oh, God, no.
So he's going to make a virtual... But then again, you could essentially just do it like Death Stranding in the real world. It's a walking simulator. You could have it so say, I don't know, you have to tag in at McDonald's and walk to...
Take your cargo somewhere else.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I feel like that could work. I think it could be good. Kojima's also launching a credit card.
What?
And a personal brand of sake. because, you know, Kojima gonna Kojima. So, you know,
What happened to him?
I was really holding out for the energy drink.
That was my first thought there. I was like, where are they?
Yeah. And then he also announced a new game for... It's probably looking like it's going to be a PS6 release because, you know, he doesn't do things quickly.
No, he kept us waiting.
Kept you waiting, huh?
He's announced a new stealth action thriller, which definitely isn't Metal Gear Solid 6.
It's legally distinct.
Even though the poster looks like Metal Gear 6.
It does look like Ashley Wood's artwork, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the actors so far are Don Lee, Charlie Fraser, and Minami Hambane. I can't pronounce that one. But yeah, so basically we're going to get essentially a sequel to Metal Gear.
Which is pretty cool.
Which is, you know, it's probably going to be good, isn't it? But as you then kind of touched upon, the most exciting thing to come out of that was definitely Kojima's new horror game, OD.
Oh, God, it looks good.
Because it looks really good. It looks... Do you reckon it's going to be PS5 or do you reckon it's PS6?
I don't know. The thing is... They really focus on that, didn't they?
The things they have done with Death Stranding 2 graphically, Kojima seems to know how to wring the last bit of power out of the console.
Very true. I mean, if you look at the things they did with OG Snake Eater on the PS2...
Yeah, if you look at like some of the stuff on the PS1, like groundbreaking stuff, even if it's just taking a controller out of a port, that's still like now is like, but then is like, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, that game, so that's definitely worth going and checking the trailer out. Some of the most impressive graphics I have ever seen, and it looks like some damn good horror. It looks like, once again, a spiritual success to kind of PT.
Yes, 100%.
I'm guessing it's some kind of, guessing by like the 2-minute kind of teaser trailer, I'm guessing the big nasty is some kind of radiation beast, because essentially the trailer ends and it's somebody being, you can hear something coming behind somebody, footsteps, but then their face starts kind of boils and...
Yeah, just little like threads go up their face.
It looks nasty.
And like the last little snapshot is them like obviously been turned around, or their head just turned around, and these massive big sausage hands.
It looks really good.
Like for someone that went through a weird phase when they were an insomniac of looking into these weird like rituals of, you know, like the Midnight Man and the 3 a.m. game and all this nonsense, it kind of had that energy to it.
Yeah.
I also like the bit in there though, like if you go and watch the trailer, there's a baby candle, very strange, and then a second little head candle, and they're freaking out that this candle started to bleed, and I'm like, have you missed the point that the large candle next to you is writhing with worms and getting bigger? Maybe pay attention to that before you light another candle.
Yeah.
But it looks so good.
Good stuff. Very excited for that.
Photorealism, that I think they have actually 3D scanned things rather than just build them from scratch.
Looks very, very good.
Very fun.
And the thing is, with horror, it's all about immersion, and that looks like the most immersive horror we've seen for a very, very long while. But that's definitely a game for the future. Games for the Dead and Now. So, a couple of episodes ago, me and Dan did our Games of Shame. Games we should have played by now, but haven't. So, I finally, after 30 years, played Super Mario World. It's very good. Unsurprisingly, you played Hades. Was a little bit on the fence.
Yeah, it not unlikable. I can see definitely it has some appeal. Strangely didn't grab me the way I thought it did, but it was fun.
So then we had another vote for our next game. Mine was my list was Halo Reach, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, Demon's Souls, and Undertale. Thankfully, Castlevania Symphony of the Night came through with 43%. So that'll be the game I'll be playing between now and the next podcast. So arguably the most popular and seemingly the best Castlevania game ever released.
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, I will not be playing the original PS1 version because I do not have £500 to drop on a physical copy, which is the main reason I've been waiting to play it. But I actually got a copy of it on a compilation from Limited Run.
Oh, nice.
Quite a few years ago now, and I think that as well has gone up quite expensive. So, yeah, so I'll be playing it on PS5.
Sweet.
So, fortunately, on the original hardware, but if somebody wants to send me £500 to buy a copy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, you are very welcome. So, Dan was down to 3 games because we realise at the moment he has no physical way to play Zelda 64. Again, if you want to send down an N64, please feel free. Please do not send us things. We're not like e-begging. We're just making jokes. So Dan was down to Myst, Papers, Please and System Shock 2. And this is the closest vote since Brexit, probably.
Am I going to be disappointed like Brexit?
No, well, I think you all get the 3 games you definitely want to play.
That's a very good point.
It was a split of 33%, 31% and 36%.
Nice.
With 36% System Shock 2 won.
Damn. Last time I looked, that had no votes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Again, for those with the video, that's how close it was. It was ridiculously close this time. So yeah.
Nice.
How are you going to be playing System Shock?
I'm definitely going to do like the more recently released remaster of things. I think my eyes might bleed if I play the OG one.
Yeah, it's probably a fair. It's maybe a very good remaster as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's pretty readily available on things. So yeah, I'll be playing that probably on whichever console I find out cheaper.
We probably won't be playing these games to completion, like between now and the next podcast, but we'll definitely be talking about them.
100%.
And then basically what we're going to do is go through our games of shame and then make another list and kind of keep going like that because too many games, not enough time, essentially.
Yeah, the backlog be backing.
But onwards to another... to the skies. That should really be a T-shirt from here.
I'll get one printed.
Yeah, cool. That'll be ready for next time, probably. We're on to another crazy Reddit story, which my wife has found. We wanted to keep this kind of Disney-based because obviously Dan will be regaling us with tales of Disney and how his wallet was hoovered out very shortly. But first, Reddit story. So, am I the arsehole for taking my grandchildren to Disney for the first time without their mother and refusing to apologise when confronted?
This depends on the dynamics, so I will reserve judgment.
So, my son made this account and asked me to post this story because he claims my normal meter is skewed. Perfect. And the internet is going to tell me I'm an arsehole. I recently babysat my grandchildren, 5 and 4, for a period of 4 nights and 5 days, so my son and his wife could attend a wedding in Mexico and spend a few days on vacation. They approached me since her mother would not be available, and I initially said I wasn't comfortable with that. It seemed a long time to watch the kids, and she had point blank told me that a woman's family is more important than a man's, so I was irritated I was being asked and not her mother. I'll admit I did give in when my son became very emotional, but I felt like I was being manipulated? Oh, I felt they were being manipulative. Oh. While I had the kids, I was invited to a birthday at Epcot and wanted to go. It didn't even occur to me to run it by my son or daughter-in-law, as I had the kids for an extended period of time, and obviously they knew they would be going where I went. My daughter-in-law had previously mentioned wanting to save up for Disney, but she said that about a lot of things that never made me aware of something super special to her. Also, it was Epcot. It's not like it took them to Magic Kingdom and they had some magical moment of seeing their favourite characters. When they returned and found out their daughter-in-law was furious and burst into tears, she said, I stole one of her kids' first and called me entitled. I think she means first memories. To be honest, I didn't react well to being called entitled when she was the one who previously demanded babysitting. My son asked me to apologise as she was distraught over missing their first Disney trip, but I declined and asked them to leave. My son reached out again and said I should have asked for something that big and that his wife feels robbed. I knew she was a huge Disney person, but it was Epcot, not quintessential Disney. I don't feel I should have to miss out on the birthday party I wanted to attend. I told myself I'm not apologising for anything, and maybe should think about how that made me feel when they didn't respect my initial no. My son feels like Reddit is going to show me the error of my ways. I very much doubt it.
I don't think that anyone in that situation is going to learn a lesson.
No, I don't feel like. I feel like also Reddit's not going to help in a situation.
Absolutely not. They're going to be like, pour this gasoline on it, we'll do good things.
So very, very much the highest response here. I hope your son feels humbled. Not the arsehole. They imposed on you to watch their children. You did exactly as they requested. You've done nothing wrong. What's the difference between Epcot and Disney?
I think, it's an acronym, I think, for something like Every Person's City of Tomorrow. It was like a sort of, I'm going to build this thing that looks slightly fancy and futuristic.
It's like that thing in Iron Man.
It's not like standard magical wonder kind of Disney area. It's a bit more, not bland, but it's the less exciting part. But it's still Disney. It's pretty fun.
I feel like you should have just gone full Disney.
I would have. And Did I catch in there that the daughter-in-law said that the woman's family is more important, so basically get stuffed?
Yeah, it feels like they kind of like look after my kids because I can't be bothered to, and other things are more important. And also,
Yeah, I'm on his side.
I think a lot of people are saying also it sounds like there's very much parts of that story that are missed.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem quite crazy to take some of these kids. I feel like they thought like their kids were probably going to be left at home. To take them, I don't know how far it was to go to Epcot, but if the other family's going to Mexico, there's quite a lot of distance.
Yeah. I mean, what? Epcot's that's in the Anaheim one, isn't it? I think.
I don't know.
But yeah, I mean,
Weird.
your kids got taken to Disney.
Yeah, I think the winner there is the kids.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Then again, a wedding in Mexico also sounds pretty good. I should have sent the kids to a wedding.
I reckon.
Or maybe it's one of those weird weddings, or cool weddings where there's no children.
That was one of the downsides of Disney. It's like, oh yeah, small people screaming everywhere.
They should definitely have like an adult week.
Definitely.
So,
Sexy Donald Duck.
regale us of your stories of Disney. First time?
Yes. It was blooming brilliant to try and rein my language in. We managed to time it perfectly going there. Because we got 2 full days and then like the tail end and the start of the day. Because they are a little bit cheeky with when you can book.
Yeah.
Like you can only arrive from a certain time, so the first day you get isn't a full day.
So what time can you arrive?
I want to say like sometime like after 12.
So half a day's gone.
Yeah, basically, because when you can book, because we went by Eurostar, as soon as you can get there, it's going to put you through that first day, but it counts as a day, which is a little bit cheeky. And with not massive delays, but small delays, and then getting back to the hotel, dropping stuff off, taking a minute, going back, we managed to time it perfectly that we got there as the parade started.
Oh, perfect.
So that was very fun.
Is it as good as people say?
It's very entertaining. Some of it is like, that looks a bit iffy, and that's insane too. Whoa, that's cool. Like, I don't know what film it was from, but there was a giant, like, steampunk mechanical dragon, and then it was like, I'm just going to drop my head for a second. Fireball! It's like, what the hell? That was very fun. Other fun bits that I remember from the parade of the Lion King bit, they had animatronic Simba on the front who looked like he'd seen some harsh winters. It was very funny. But yeah, the parade was mental. It was kind of the perfect, like, oh, we've just got here. What's everyone crowding in the main town square for? Ooh, parade. Fun. So that was quite entertaining. And then we didn't have to sort of interrupt our other full days going to do that.
Yeah, is that quite separate then?
So basically when you get into the main park, you get funneled down into Main Street.
Yeah.
And it's in that main little bit of the town. So it's kind of the first thing you'll see going in.
Is that like in the shadow of the castle?
Yeah, you can see it like down the street. Man, the vistas in there or something. Like, I'm not a massive Disney person, but it was like, whoa. Just looking down this very sort of magically twee street, seeing the castle, and then seeing like the massive pink Princess Hotel behind you. It's friggin' enormous.
Is that where you stayed, the Princess Hotel?
I mean, I had to, really. But then I got to
Did you stay on the grounds, or?
Just outside, because they have a lot of like partner hotels as well.
Yeah.
But there were free shuttles, but it was only like a 15-20 minute walk.
That's not too bad then.
And the money saved on that cost an extra day.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, because I can imagine actually staying in the park is way more expensive.
yes, by quite a lot. Although my goal is Art of Marvel Hotel.
Yeah, because you are a big Marvel guy, known guest.
Yes, it was amazing. You can go in there because there is a shop, so we just went and had a look. And as soon as you step in there, it is like being somewhere in New York. Just the way they've made it designed, and the wings are like, they're named after like boroughs in New York.
That's cool.
It's very cool. I enjoyed it. They had a load of either replicas or just actual props.
Probably just the actual props, because obviously Disney owns it all, so they just had it all available.
There were Iron Man suits, there were shields, Mjolnirs, and everything.
Yes, I suppose that's a very big thing now of obviously Disney owning everything. Was there quite a large Marvel?
There was a significant amount of Marvel. I think there's probably more at the Florida one. The Avengers campus was not huge, but decent. Because you've got the main park, and then you've got the Disney Studios park.
Does Paris have the Spider-Man show?
I didn't see anything about a show, but you can see on top of the Spider-Man bit some definite bits where I think it goes on.
Okay.
There's like a load of aircon units and pipes, but then there are bits that very much look like they're there for swimming.
Is it quite easy to miss things then when you're there?
Yeah, we didn't take in any of the shows other than the parade.
I can imagine it's very overwhelming.
Yes, and the benefit of being if you can be bothered to avoid the shows, all of the other queue times drop drastically.
Oh, so it's best to kind of do stuff during the shows because everyone's already there.
Yeah, so like some of the bigger rides, it'll go from like 30, 40 minute wait to like, 5. It's like, woo.
Okay.
So that's pretty fun. Did see a little bit of one of the shows where they have some of the, I forget what the guard are called, like the Wakandan guard.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then you can go and like get some spears and do some training with them, which is pretty entertaining.
Cool. So what kind of shows are there?
Oh god.
I have very little knowledge of Disney because I was actually meant to be going to Disney relatively around the same time, but we kind of fell through. But
there's a welcome to Marvel, or like a hero's welcome, where they get a load of the Avengers around the massive Quinjet they've got in there, which is pretty cool. And maybe that ties into Spidey, like he'll turn up late and do some flips and come over. That'd be quite entertaining. I didn't actually like look into a lot of the shows that much, but they do have a lot, and they have like regular slots where you can go and meet some of the mascots.
Because how many days were you there?
Basically 4. Got everything done.
Yeah, I was going to say, was it enough time?
Yeah, there was enough time to go back and do some of the bigger things that we want to redo. The very few rides missed out on, and it was a few of them all like, that's fine.
Yes, we've only basically touched on it ever so slightly outside the podcast, because then it's more interesting for me hearing things the first time. But I kind of forget there's rides at Disney.
Oh boy. So, like, the first ride I went on was on the first evening, and that was because we went to the Captain Jack's restaurant on that night, and the Pirates of the Caribbean ride goes through the edge of it. Like the
so was that a Pirates of the Caribbean themed restaurant?
Yeah, lots of sort of Creole food and whatnot. It's very fun. But it's a ride, but it's not a ride. You know, it's just like, look at these things. That's kind of entertaining. You're on a little boat. It's quite chill. First proper ride, we went to the studios on the full first day. We went to the Hollywood Tower Hotel one.
Yeah, Tower of Terror.
Oh, good lord. That was quite a way to wake up. Because I didn't really know what to expect.
I think that's one of the better things with Disney, when you don't know what to expect.
Yeah, because I was fully thinking it was going to be one of those ones where they do like a simulated kind of drop. Like a little bit of a drop and some shaking, and you're like, that's fine. But you get put in this massive freight elevator, you suddenly move back a good like 20 feet, and you're like, what's actually happening right now? And you just start getting catapulted around. There's like a weird little ghost girl talking to you when you stop at floors. And then if there was any doubt that you're actually being moved, it keeps getting worse and worse. And then it goes to the top, shutters open, and you look out over the park because you're at the top of the goddamn building. And like, oh, you have just enough time to register it before it goes and drops you again.
So you're like attached in, or?
Yeah, there's just a seatbelt, which is quite fun.
Incredible.
And the entertaining thing being, I went and did it again on the last day just for funsies. And like the seatbelts, I don't think are adjustable, but the second one I went in had a bit more give. So whenever it dropped, I left the seat. And I was like, this is how I die. I hope they would get it on camera. But it was
quite ironic to haunt the Tower of Terror.
That would be so good. Make it authentic. Yeah, and then there's a surprising amount of rides that have loop-de-loops.
Really?
Yeah, although a lot of them are the more sort of experienced ones where you don't see a great deal, like the Avengers Flight Force and Star Wars Hyperspace Mountain, because it's not really Star Wars.
No, it's just Space Mountain, isn't it? But
yeah, it's based
on
on
some Star Wars.
But yeah, you pull some serious G's to the point where I thought I got a few inches shorter. But it was quite entertaining in the queue for space flight or whatever I just said it was. You go past where it takes off from, and you can just see the carriage sitting there for a bit. Then it suddenly just goes like, and it's like within a frame, it's gone, and you're like, oh no, what am I about to do? But that was quite entertaining.
Was there much Star Wars stuff there then?
There's a little bit. Strangely, the last thing I did there was the only time I felt really unwell. And it was just one of those, not even a roller coaster, they just put you in a bit of a large screen that jiggles, and it was like 3PO was piloting a little jumper around, and it was like a Space Tours thing. And it was 3D glasses, a screen, and getting wiggled, and I felt so motion sick. It was ridiculous.
So not the Space Mountain or being dropped like from the top of a building, just being wobbled around,
flung
slightly.
around, like pulling mad G's and doing loop-de-loops. I was just like, nah, I'm being slightly jostled. Oh, but I think probably my favourite ride, now that I think about it, was Big Thunder Mountain. Because there's like this little island in the middle of a lake, and when you get on it, there's a bit where you just get put under the lake and you're clearly like in a tunnel, and then you're suddenly in the middle of this lake.
Oh, that's cool.
There's big like banking turns and loop-de-loops, and it's like, whee, I can see everything, and it was really nice. It was adventurous. It was fun. I recommend wholeheartedly.
Yeah, it definitely sounds very, very good.
Yeah, the Indiana Jones ride is pretty baller as well.
And what's the Indiana Jones? Is it a minecart by any chance?
It didn't look too minecarty, but it was like in a temple. There were snake bits, and again, I think you ended up pulling some mad G's in that. Like, let's bank at a horrible angle and fling you around.
Nice.
It was very good.
That does sound very good. More importantly, what merch and drip did you manage to pick up?
I managed to be relatively reserved. I got a couple of the little shoulder plushies.
Yeah.
So you can get them with the little magnets. So
I'm amazed you haven't got it today.
I was going to, and I forgot because I'm an absolute fool. I got the lizard from Frozen because he's heckin' adorable. And it's really weird. The amount of people that were fascinated by the fact that rather than I had him on my shoulder, I put him on like my little crossbody bag and just had him like climbing up my chest, and people were like, like, it's not that outside the box, guys. It's fine. But then on the last day, I did go and splurge like 90 quid and got one of the jackets from the Marvel shop.
It's very good.
Yeah, I enjoy it very much.
Like, you're wearing it on the way here. I think we're like, it's probably too warm to wear it for the podcast.
Yeah, I would be dead. But
it's a very, very nice jacket.
Yeah, there were two in there that I wanted. There's that one. It's a more generic Marvel Universe one. It's got like the old 4-color style like characters on the back and stuff down the sleeves.
Like a varsity jacket. It's very cool.
Yeah. And then there's one from the Spider-Man ride, which is the Web Institute. And it's just nice and bright red. You've got some other little bits on there, a little spider logo on there. Quite fun as well. But for some reason, pretty much none of the spider merch had a big spider on the back, which is why I was like, come on now.
Strange.
Yeah.
Maybe they're kind of like, I know, not helping cosplayers.
True. Although I did see some people doing like the stealth cosplay, because kids can get away with it, adults you get in trouble, but people doing like, just about, you can tell they're themed.
Yes, because I think there's a lot of crazy rules with Disney, isn't there?
Yeah, and I think it's probably based on like keeping pervs at bay, because if you go fully dressed up...
because was there a lot of people in costumes wandering around, like staff members?
Strangely not that many. I think gone are the days where you're going to regularly have mascots walking around and you have to go to the specific meeting times, which I couldn't really be fussed with. The most I saw was people queuing to meet Donald or the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland.
Did you get many pictures with people, or is it more kind of weird at that point?
Yeah, just random candid photos, and the most vomit-inducing one was putting the phone on the middle of the bit in the teacups and setting it to film. So you're just getting like an upward view of going, whee!
That's quite cool.
It was very entertaining. There were many people like on some of the bigger rides who were just ignoring the rules and getting their phone out and like, hope that's insured, buddy.
Is there many kind of weird rules at Disney? Or anything that we really felt was enforced? Because is there no beer there?
I thought there'd be no beer. There was beer. Very happy.
I thought maybe I always thought there was no alcohol there, but maybe that's a bit of an urban myth. That's
what I thought. Yeah, there are even some areas where there's just vendors along some of the streets where you can go and get a pint of very overpriced European beer.
Oh, how much was a pint of beer?
I think I was in the Ratatouille area, and if I wanted a pint, it was about €12 or something.
Yeah,
that's excessive.
I'm not going to ask how much it was, because I think it's one of those things, you pay for the experience.
Oh, 100%.
How was like the food pricing and stuff? And was there any good, like, did you get any like weird like Star Wars blue milk or anything?
The food, there's quite a range. Like, there are some of the easier like little cantini bits
Because all the food's themed, I guess, yeah?
Yeah, by and large. There are some that are just like region themed or just generic snacky stuff. But then there are other themed restaurants. We did 2. The Captain Jack's one, so very sort of Creole,
Seafood?
spicy. There was sort of seafood, actually. And then the Silver Steakhouse, which is quite fun. It's done like an old saloon.
Oh, nice.
Very fun. Had nice big steak skewers.
I didn't know they had like an Avengers shawarma.
There is actually, yes. So there's the Pim something or other restaurant. So where everything's, like
Big?
oversized. But then I found a little standard, like the silver kind of round canteen dinery little things.
Yeah.
In the edge of the studios lot, and you could go and get shawarma, which is pretty great. I just went in there and had a coffee and just watched. It was like, I can pretend I'm in America, in France.
That's very cool.
It was very entertaining.
It does sound very, very good. I think it's definitely one of those kind of bucket list things that most people like to do. I definitely will go at some point.
Yeah. And if you like a shop every approximately 17 seconds, you'll be in luck.
So it's quite big, I guess, then?
It very big. At first it's a little bit overwhelming, but then once you kind of get your bearings on where stuff is, you can navigate it quite easily, but it is still pretty
Should you say
hefty.
4 days is a good amount?
Yeah, we had enough time where we weren't pressed, but also like, okay, yeah, we've done what we need and done what we want to do. They are definitely building some more stuff.
Nice.
I think there's maybe a frozen area or something, because it looked like a massive icy mountain being built. It's pretty cool.
Does sound cool. So we're going to kind of bring it back to video games a little bit more. And basically me and Dan have racked our brains for... So we've basically doing about 5 of our favourite Disney games ever. And kind of doing this list, I've kind of realised Disney games peaked a long while ago.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly surprising for undoubtedly one of the biggest companies in the entire universe.
Yeah. When you realise the amount of IP that through like subsidiaries they have access to,
It's like, so we're not going to kind of count anything Marvel or Star Wars.
No, which is fair.
We're talking proper Disney characters and kind of IPs. And I was like, I really want to do a nice range of games from like 16-bit systems up to modern day. And I'm like, wow, Disney peaked in video games 30 years ago and really has dropped the ball since.
Yeah, unless you want more Disney Infinity. That's pretty much you got to keep it back then.
I was actually going to say, I quite like Disney Infinity. I have most of the Avengers and Star Wars Disney Infinity figures. I think it was a really good idea. Was it a slight cash grab? Yes. Was it a good fun game? Yes. It's like having a toy chest, which I think was literally what it was called in the game, where you can just play with various Disney things and just have the crossovers, which is where it was at a peak time of having Star Wars and Marvel and all Disney suddenly thrust together. And that game literally squeezed them all together into a big kind of fun third-person action-adventure game, which was quite fun. You could just jump into a Star Wars level as, I don't know, Mickey Mouse. Or just be Anakin and just go around slaughtering people in the random Disney universe. But, like...
No younglings here.
What's the most modern, good Disney game you can think of?
Ooh. That is a very good question.
Like, I think I played a Disney game on Xbox Games Pass for achievements a year or so ago. It's like...
Dreamlight Valley?
No, I think it's the other one where you walk around like a virtual Disneyland. That was kind of cool. I don't think I was really the target audience, but that wasn't bad.
Yeah.
There was a free-to-play Disney karting game recently, which I forget the name of, which was pretty good.
Oh, cool.
But it was absolutely riddled with microtransactions. It was a free-to-play game. I think if they'd released it as a paid game, with all the characters and carts and skins included, it would have been really good. But mechanically... it was a good karting game, but other than like, what is the most modern Disney game you can think that's good?
Oh, last one I remember playing that I thought, yeah, this is all right, was on PS2.
Yeah, see, I think the most recent one I can think of was probably Epic Mickey, which was pretty good.
Fair. That one did pass me by, to be fair.
Yeah. And I know there's another one which, like, when I was researching this list, looks very good, which I think I'll definitely play soon, which essentially looks like Rayman Origins, but Disney character, which is like a side-scrolling kind of game. That looks quite cool.
Okay, I could get down for that.
But yeah, let's not beat around the bush. We're going to basically talk about games for the Mega Drive, probably, aren't we?
Effectively, yes.
Because it was such a good time. I think maybe it's because it was then the perfect time for us.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Basically, every time you got a Disney movie, which most of them around that time we would like, I still can remember going to see The Lion King in the cinema and then playing the Nails Lion King game on the Mega Drive afterwards, because these games separated the men from the boys.
Yeah, and those that could rent from Blockbuster.
Yeah, these were games which were essentially developed with they had the arcade mentality of being hard as nails, because I think they knew a lot of people would rent these games for the weekend and they would not finish them in a weekend, or possibly ever.
That's very true.
Because have you ever finished Disney's Lion King?
Absolutely not.
Don't get me wrong, absolutely fantastic game. I think the thing is with a lot of the Disney games on the Mega Drive, some of the best 16-bit artwork and graphics you will ever see.
Oh, 100%.
And music. 16-bit music on the Mega Drive Disney games. Peak.
Yes. And to that, my first one from that particular list, I think anyone that's ever played any video games ever has played Aladdin.
So good.
Such a bop.
I would say possibly the best.
I would argue.
Because I would argue The Lion King, but its difficulty ruins it somewhat. Because there's only so many times you can play I Can't Wait to Be King level.
I just can't wait to be king done with this.
Not swearing.
Did it.
Very, very good game, Aladdin.
Oh, yeah.
Really
Even if you're
fun
just
game.
chucking apples, it's just...
Yeah, chucking apples, bouncing around. You do get a weapon in that one, don't you?
It's been so long, maybe. Do you
Yeah.
get a sword? You probably have a sword.
I just remember like bouncing around and like picking up and also having Robin Williams as the genie.
Yes.
Again, fantastic music, fantastic side scrolling.
So good.
Very, very good.
Strangely, when researching this, I didn't realise. So there were two different publishers involved depending on what you were playing on. So if you're playing the Genesis or Amiga, the DOS, Game Boy or NES, it was your regular Virgin Interactive, which is just what I think of when I think of that era of
Yeah, 100%.
Disney games. But the SNES and GBA, Capcom.
Yes, this was one of the other weird things about the Disney games of this period. A lot of them were different. You would play, so like, for example, one of the ones I remember playing quite fondly was Tailspin on the Mega Drive. And once again, researching this list, I didn't realise Tailspin on the Mega Drive is a totally different game to Tailspin on the NES, which I think is the exact same thing. I think, I could be wrong on this one, Tailspin on the Mega Drive is made by Virgin Interactive, and on the NES was made by Capcom, and Capcom made a side-scrolling shooting game for Tailspin, which kind of makes way more sense. And it's a game I haven't played, but definitely on my list now.
Yeah.
So that sounds awesome. Like any side-scrolling Capcom shooting game from that period is just brilliant.
I mean, we do have a Capcom address later at TGS, so maybe more Disney games.
Yeah. But
Mickey and Resident Evil.
yeah, I'm going to kind of let you go with your list because I think there's going to be so much crossover. It's going to be unreal.
So, one that stuck out in my memory, because this was a time where I only had a Mega Drive and I've never actually owned a PlayStation 1. So I remember playing this around a friend's a hell of a lot, and that was A Bug's Life.
Really?
Yeah, and finding that like really interesting and entertaining, and also bafflingly difficult at the time because I wasn't used to 3D.
See, I think I do own that at least in the Platinum version on the PS1. I don't think I've ever played it.
It's quite fun if you like floating from dandelion seeds. That's my prevailing memory of it.
See, actually, I remember one of the ones I was going to put on my list is also Toy Story from the PS1 for the very same kind of... Oh, it might be Toy Story 2. I kind of forget with that one, but that was a very good kind of third-person 3D action game.
Yeah, lots of decent platforming bits. Collectible hunting. It used the system well. It didn't try and do anything too out there. I think it probably would look a bit polygonal and unpleasant, but
we are talking about early 3D games, but
beyond that, it's probably quite well aged. To be fair,
yeah. And I think that's a weird thing, which is going to be like kind of a common theme of a lot of these Disney games. They were always kind of tying to either a new movie release or like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just because today, like making a game for that kind of reason is expensive. Like maybe the development cost was so much less, and you knew you were going to be basically onto a bit of an easy, really.
Yeah, and I suppose now that there's so much different content, different streaming things, if you tried to make a tie-in game for everything that was out there, you'd just be bankrupt within a minute.
Yeah. Because I think one of the ones that always stands out for me is, I'm sure this will be on your list, is Mickey Mouse and Castle of Illusion.
Yep.
Basically, because I think we're all going to have because that was a great game. Where did you originally play it?
I played it on the hefty back-breaking Game Gear.
Oh.
Yes.
But same version as the Mega Drive per se?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very good game.
Good. Just wafting a... Was it a tablecloth, I assume? Magic rug? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was a Magic Rug, right? There's a lot of things you don't really question about these Disney games back so like another one I always remember is Donald Duck in Quackshot.
Oh yeah, firing plungers at people.
Yeah, firing plungers at people.
Natural.
Because I think a lot of them are like, how can we kind of make this into... Because most of them, other than The Lion King, do not really follow the plot that much.
No. Not a great deal.
Especially like with some of the weirder ones, like when they released on like Master System or like Amiga and stuff like that. They were very strange games in places.
Yeah. Tell you what, some of the odd ones that I've never heard of when I was looking at what other Disney games are there out there, and they're just early like DOS 3D tours of the things. Like, I bet that looks fun.
Yeah, some really odd ones. But what else have you got on your list? Because I reckon we're going to have so much crossover.
So one that I'd completely forgotten about was like, oh yeah, wait, I remembered that, and that was fun. Disney Extreme Skate Adventure.
Yes,
that was pretty solid. I remember skating around Andy's bedroom. Very fun.
Essentially, Tony Hawk's with a
reskin on it.
With a reskin, and also a pretty decent soundtrack.
Yeah,
the most kind of radio rock. Like the safest punk rock possible soundtrack. Yeah, really, really good game.
Yeah, it's like fight the establishment, but only if your parents say it's okay.
Yeah, it's like basically Radio Disney versions of
Kids Bop.
Yeah,
but yeah,
very, very good game.
That was fun. I remember playing a hell of a lot of that. Like, was it you skate around? Remember Andy's bedroom and you were sort of grinding on Hot Wheels tracks and stuff. That was quite entertaining.
It's one of those ones that really shouldn't be that good, but it's really, really good.
Yeah, it really leans into the strange little missions, because I know you did have like the side bits in Tony Hawk's, but they always seem a little bit like, whatever, somebody wants a sandwich, but this is like random little toy-based things.
Yeah, that's actually one that's really, I think it's really stood the test of time, and if you kind of, especially if you've got like kids, that's a great game.
Oh, definitely.
Because it just has that kind of mentality of actually being a good game. Which is kind of a common theme with a lot of these games. They're basically all, the ones we're probably going to talk about, have aged pretty well.
Yeah, because I guess at that point there wasn't a whole lot they could do post-release to fix it, so they had to make sure it was going to work.
Most of them are just your basic side-scrolling games. And they work well. Yeah. What else have we got on?
A surprising one, but again, it was one that I dug out of the corner of my brain and went, oh yeah. And I don't know if I'm necessarily remembering it because it was a good game or just because I remember playing couch co-op and that being entertaining. And that was Pirates of the Caribbean Legend of Jack Sparrow.
What's that, 360?
360 PS2, I think, yeah.
So yeah, probably the most recent other than Disney Infinity, yeah. Never played it.
It's pretty fun. It's, not...
So what kind of game even is it? Is it like a hack and slash?
Yeah, hack and slash, beat 'em up, kind of almost kind of Diablo-y angle kind of thing, but linear levels. You chuck your little grog bombs about, you're fighting random pirates, loosely following, I think, the plot of the first film at the very least. It's pretty fun.
That actually sounds quite good.
Yeah. I remember playing that, I think, when was that? I can't remember now, but it might have been one of the things I was like grinding out just ahead of the PS3. It was like, what can I play just to kind of tide myself over until this comes out? Oh, Pirates of the Caribbean. That'll do.
Actually, I actually might add that to a list. That sounds quite cool, even though I probably already have a copy unknowingly. But yeah, that sounds like a pretty cool game.
Yeah. So what ones are on your list?
What I've actually only recently played is DuckTales on the NES. That's very hard. There's actually a really good remaster of DuckTales on the PS3 as well, which is really good. That's an absolute nails game. And possibly one of the most recent ones, which I can't remember the exact name of it, so if you're watching on YouTube, please comment down below. The kind of tie-in game for Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, okay, yeah. Which that makes sense that would work.
Yeah, even though, it's essentially Donkey Kong. I can't remember what the game's called now, but it's a very good kind of simple puzzly game.
Okay.
Per se, you just basically get to the top of the building before Ralph wrecks it.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, pretty solid game. But yeah, it's actually genuinely surprising how few modern Disney games are on the list, considering they now monopolise most things.
Yeah, they got one out every 20 minutes or so.
I know we had the Saturday morning cartoon collection recently, which had like Aladdin, The Lion King, and I think it's a Jungle Book.
Oh, okay.
Which they released for the PS4 and Xbox One, but I tell you what, I reckon some people got some rude awakenings on that one as well, because that is as I said, that's an absolute nails game, all three of those. Like,
I'll finish all of these in an afternoon. No, you won't.
Yeah, very, very hard. I don't think I could finish Lion King now.
No, I think I'd probably have a bit of a tizzy fit.
Especially like that bit where you're like going through and the monkeys are throwing you in random directions. You have to get it right. It's like, and all I can always remember is just the same. Oh, I just can't wait to be king going in the background, which we're not going to hum for like copyright reasons, because Disney will come for you.
Yep,
that's why.
And desist.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a shame, because you think Disney games now would be an easy win.
Yeah.
But I digress. We are basically breaking. And we are running out of time, so we're going to go on some questions from you lovely people from the public. As always, we have 3 questions which we're going to answer at the end. And the first one comes from PSN Villa. So he says, also they say, I'm not sure what they identify as, it can be debated what's a great game, but what's the worst game you've both played? For context, yesterday I fired up Crazy Frog Racer on the PS2. It was one of the worst things I've ever played, and that's covering some ground. A mix of Wipeout meets Crash Team Racing. Which sounds like it would be great, but I can imagine Crazy Frog Racer sucking the proverbial.
Oh, God. See, I was thinking about kind of a similar thing last night, because I always remember my favourite thing when I used to actually get gaming magazines, because things used to be printed. Going to the back and reading like the 2 out of 10s or 3 out of 10s, and how much spite and vitriol would be in the reviews.
Yeah.
It's the most entertaining thing ever. Oh, God. Worst game, though. That's... Oof.
I'd probably say it's most likely going to be on the PS2.
I guess with the amount of third-party shovelware.
Like, there's I can't remember the name of it. There's a truck racing game which is very, very bad. Like, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like, it's infamously bad, because I think like it's just programmed badly, where basically you can like drive through mountains and stuff like that. And I think if you drive in reverse, it gets progressively faster and faster and faster. I can't remember what the name of it is, but that's a terrible, terrible racing game. It's definitely going to be like some of the weird, obscure racing games on the PS2 were awful.
Yeah.
I think probably the worst game I've ever played is probably, and I only played it like knowing it was going to be bad, would be the Little Britain game on the PS2.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
That was truly awful.
Yeah, that's something else.
And I think...
Get you cancelled then.
I think when you get like the really weird, like kind of budget titles, like Midas Games made some terrible games. Like when they did some of the weird kind of cash-in public domain games on like the PS1, like puzzle games, which were like Hercules the game, not Disney's Hercules, which was a very good game actually. Throwing it back, Disney's Hercules on the PS1, a very good Disney game.
Solid title.
Yeah, but they used to do like basically public domain, like Snow White and 7 Dwarfs. What's the game? Oh, it's a colour matching puzzle game, or some garbage like that. And I think they also released like the, not Kindergarten Cop. See, what's the one with Eddie Murphy?
Oh, Beverly Hills Cop.
Beverly Hills Cop on the PS2.
Oh,
That's awful.
God, I'd repress that from my memory.
That's a truly bad game.
Oof.
Like, the AI is ridiculous. The voice acting is ridiculous. Everything about that game is terrible. the driving that's a truly painful game to try and play through.
I wonder what mine would be. God. I mean, I've already talked about some that I really hate in the past, like Gods on the Mega Drive. That was pretty bad. But, what was it even called?
I think back in the day, it was some of those games which just didn't actually explain to you how to even play them.
Yes. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but it's like SOS or something. One of these ones that's like a kind of a survival game, but in like a natural disaster. There was like 3 billion of them on the PS2. Oh, God. I've tried to expunge it from my memory, but it's like, do you want to learn how to survive? Good luck. I'm not going to tell you. It's like, oh, okay. What do I need here? Who knows?
I think I remember, do you ever play a game called Corporation on the Mega Drive?
No.
That was very much like one of those where it didn't explain jack. It's like, have at it. And it's like, I have no idea what any of this is. Literally, I just do not know what that game even was still to this day. But yeah, I think we'll have to have a think about, for another future podcast, of the worst games we've ever played and maybe formulate a bit of a list.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
there's definitely some
thoughts.
Repressed. So we have 2 more questions. The next one I'm going to be incredibly vague with, and that's from Mistaken Stranger 8343, and they ask, what is my plan once the Platinum Trilogy is over? Would I do Essentials or PSP Platinums?
Ooh.
So, for those of you who don't know, I've been, over the past 3 years, collecting every Platinum game for the PS1, the PS2, and then the PS3, 1 per year. And hopefully by the end of this year, I will own every Platinum game released by PlayStation, which I don't know how many people have actually managed to do in the world because it's ridiculous. And obviously next year, I will be setting up another challenge, and I'm kind of on the fence about what it's going to be at the moment. And you'll hear it here first on the podcast. What I might do is actually throw it to a public vote what we go for next year. So, as I said, I'm kind of on the fence with things. I have things I planned for the next 3 years. It's just the kind of order we're going to do it in. But that's going to be a story for the end of the year. We're basically going to get to the end of the Platinum Trilogy this year and then kind of go from there. So, very much watch this space. I have ideas, but nothing in stone at the moment. But yeah, that was very much non-committal there.
I am intrigued.
And as I said, with these, we always share a social post a couple of days before the podcast or the night before, and I forget to share it earlier. And we always say we want your burning questions, those things you've always wanted to know, those questions that keep you up at night, that you just need me and Dan to answer. And Danny Be Good has dropped in a big, brilliant name, by the way, a fantastic big question here.
Mm-hmm.
Probably shouldn't have left it to the end of the podcast. We've had like 90 minutes of just breaking our brains. So, Dan, big question. Do you keep your eggs in the fridge?
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying
when they're not
time?
in the chicken. I am a fridge egger. Egg fridger.
Do you not have one of those ceramic chickens you put your eggs in?
I don't know, although now I wish I did.
Yeah.
No, I had the little thing to put in the top of the door.
Oh, do you have the thing in the door?
Yeah.
I didn't have it. Do you not just put them straight in the box in the fridge?
I worry I'm somehow going to close it and then squash the box and then just go and eggs go everywhere and it'll be like...
Well, you might get a damn box. But yeah, these are the big questions. I'm kind of going to poo-poo this answer by saying I don't eat eggs. So that kind of ruins it from that point of view.
What would you do? What do you think would be the more sensible?
See, I feel like being retro of me, I'd like to keep them in a ceramic chicken.
That's fair.
But then the salmonella... Do you have salmonella from eggs?
I want to say probably, yeah.
I feel like eggs should be refrigerated in this day and age.
Yeah, because what is it? If they haven't got the lion stamp on them, they're dicey potentially. So yeah, I think refrigeration probably.
But
smart.
maybe I'm going to play it fast and loose. If I was going to eat an egg, I would have a room temperature. If I was going to eat an egg, I would do the Rocky thing and just crack them in a glass and knock them back.
See, okay, so here's another extra thing. What would be worse if you went for the raw egg Rocky thing? Room temperature or cold?
With every drink that isn't like a hot beverage, like a coffee or a tea, I'm always going for the cold route.
Yeah, because I feel like if it was warm, it would be kind of like someone with a head cold sneezed in your mouth.
Yeah, room temperature eggs would taste snotty, for lack of a better term. And I think cold eggs, you could probably get them down easier.
Yeah, I reckon. And
Yeah.
maybe a bit kind of stiffer, so it's not.
And if you were gonna, I love how this has really gone off piste, and we spent more time on this question than most other things. If you were gonna neck a raw egg smoothie, would you mix them all up, or would you want the yolks to split in your mouth?
I think that would give me too much of a flashback to when I was in Scouts, so I'm not going to do that, and I probably blitz it.
I think you would blitz it.
I wouldn't want the sudden, the forbidden boba.
Just going, again, off on another tangent, because we both go to the gym fairly regularly. Would you drink raw eggs, or would you just have a protein shake?
As a power move, I would take a box of eggs and just start cracking them straight into my mouth.
Also, people who eat the shells.
Yeah, Liver King it. Just
Yeah, I feel like from a nutritional point of view, there's better things you can do than eat raw eggs.
Yeah, 100%.
Probably wouldn't recommend it.
Nah.
Down to Games One podcast does not recommend eating raw eggs. But I think we would say fridge.
Yeah. Raw eggs, though, 0 out of 10 ceramic chickens.
Yeah.
Would
yeah.
not.
RIP ceramic chickens. Definitely a retro thing that hasn't.
We have our new scale for rating things, the ceramic chicken.
Yep. Ceramic chickens are out, unfortunately. They are the bad retro. But there we go. As always, the big questions are answered here on the podcast. So remember, every time, get your questions in, regardless of how stupid they are. To be honest, the stupider they are, normally the funnier the answers. But we have a place to be, things to do, games to play.
Thanks to
Remember, I am on YouTube every Saturday live at 5, as well as bonus content throughout the week at Down to Games Man. And we will be back in 2 weeks' time with quite a lot to talk about PlayStation Direct and Tokyo Game Show. So
And
make sure you hit that follow button on your favourite podcast provider. Hit that like button, subscribe on YouTube. And it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.
And as always, keep playing the game. See you soon.